Hello, my name is Jordan Hayes. I'm 33 years old and currently living in Austin, Texas. I'm the founder of a green tech startup. My company builds software that helps smart buildings save energy, something I poured my whole heart into. If you met me today, you'd see a confident man at the helm of a growing business. You'd probably think I had it easy. But if you asked about my past, you'd hear something far different. A story that starts with warmth and descends into cold silence. I was born an orphan. I don't remember my birth parents, only that I was left behind at a rural orphanage outside Dallas when I was 3 years old. I was adopted by a middle-class couple, Thomas and Lorraine Whitaker. They had a cozy home in Fort Worth. White fence. Daisy garden. A swing in the backyard. The first time I walked into that house, I didn't know what family meant, but I felt something like it. Lorraine, my adoptive mother, had a voice like a lullaby. She sang to me, read me fairy tales. Thomas, my adoptive father, worked long hours at a bank, but every evening, he'd shoot hoops with me in the driveway. I called them Mom and Dad. And in my small heart, I truly believed I was theirs. Those early years were soft, pastel-colored. Sunday mornings smelled like cinnamon cookies. My shoes were tied by Dad's strong hands. The swing creaked while he pushed me and laughed, "You'll fly higher than them all, Jordan." I thought I was the happiest kid on earth. Until the day everything changed. When I was 6, Lorraine gave birth to twins, Logan and Lucy. I stood outside the hospital door that day holding a balloon Dad had bought me, waiting to meet my baby siblings. I was excited. Dreaming of teaching them to draw, to kick a soccer ball. But when we got home, something shifted. The smiles that once lit up for me were now reserved for the cribs. My parents' voices grew shorter. Their warmth colder. I chalked it up to stress at first. 2 newborns was a lot. I tried to help. I folded baby blankets. Hummed lullabies. But the more I tried, the more they shut me out. One day, I reached for a spoon to help feed Logan. Lorraine snatched it from my hand. "Jordan, leave him alone. You don't need to do those things." Her voice wasn't just annoyed. It was icy. Like I didn't belong. Years passed. The difference became glaring. Logan and Lucy wore brand new clothes. I wore hand-me-downs. When I asked to go to the movies with classmates, Thomas said we didn't have money to waste on nonsense. A week later, he took the twins to a water park. The final crack came when I was 9. Logan, being mischievous, shattered one of Lorraine's prized vases. I tried to stop him, but when she walked in, she didn't see what happened. She only saw the broken pieces. "What did you do to your brother?" she screamed. I tried to explain. She cut me off cold. "You're just adopted, Jordan. Don't think you have any right to discipline them." Those words. They didn't just hurt. They broke something inside me. From that day forward, I stopped trying. I stayed silent during dinner. Hid in school libraries, burying myself in books, worlds where no one knew I was adopted. Still, I held on to a flicker of hope. Maybe if I succeeded, if I made them proud, they'd see me again. So I worked. I got straight A's. Excelled in math. But no matter what, praise never came. I brought home a science trophy. Lorraine barely looked at it. "That's nice, Jordan." Now go finish your homework. But when Lucy won a spelling bee at school, there were balloons. Hugs. My brilliant girl, Lorraine said, tears in her eyes. I was invisible. And slowly, I started to believe it was my fault. At 18, I finally saw the truth. It wasn't that I was unworthy. It was that they had chosen not to love me. That realization hurt more than anything. But it also lit a fire. I packed a small suitcase and left without looking back. I didn't cry. I told myself, this is your start, Jordan. You build your life now. I got into the University of Texas in Austin. A partial scholarship covered tuition. Nothing else. My adoptive parents gave me nothing. Not even a ride. Thomas nodded at the door and said, good luck. Lorraine didn't even look up from the stove. I boarded a bus with $50 and a used backpack. My first room in Austin was barely livable. Peeling paint. A mattress on the floor. A crate for a desk. But I made it work. During the day, I studied software engineering. At night, I served coffee at a downtown cafe. On weekends, I delivered pizzas in 100-degree heat. Some nights, I cried. Not from weakness, but from exhaustion. Other nights, I stared at an old photo of me at 5, smiling between Thomas and Lorraine. And I'd whisper to myself, you're not that boy anymore. What kept me going was coding. Logic. Order. In the digital world, no one cared who your parents were. If your code worked, you mattered. I met Carlos Ramos during a group project. He shared his lunch when I only had crackers. You need to eat, man. You look like a skeleton. His kindness was a lifeline. Together, we built a tool that could help smart buildings optimize energy. We won second place in a state competition. That win stayed in my mind. After graduation, the economy was down. I applied to over 100 jobs. Nothing. I delivered pizzas to survive. One rainy night, I slipped and ruined a delivery. My boss yelled. The customer slammed the door. I stood soaked in the storm, wondering if it was all worth it. But I remembered that fire, the one that had pushed me this far. So, with the little I had saved, Carlos and I launched a tiny startup. Our workspace. My bedroom. Our desk. An old door on 2 cinder blocks. We coded day and night. We entered a green tech competition. The prize, $50,000. We won second place, $25,000. We registered the business, ClearPulse Technologies. Eventually, a venture firm offered us $1 million in seed funding. From there, everything changed. We moved into an office. Hired a small team. Landed a contract with a hotel chain. Our software cut their energy bill by 30%. By 2021, we were valued at $10 million. And I, Jordan Hayes, the kid no one claimed, was on Forbes' Under 30 list. But even with all that, part of me still ached. Not for validation, but for peace. So in 2023, I bought something, a beachfront villa in Galveston. For $1 million. I put it in Thomas Whitaker's name. A gift. For the man who once pushed me on a swing and said, "You'll fly." I showed up at his 65th birthday uninvited, holding the deed. But they weren't happy to see me. Lucy sneered. Logan joked about me being there to beg for a job. And then Thomas announced, in front of 50 guests, that I'd been left out of his will because, oh, I forgot. Jordan's adopted. The whole yard laughed. So I stood up. And I said, I came to give. Not to beg. I held up the gift deed. A $4 million villa. I was going to give it to you. To thank you. Then I tore it up, slowly, in front of everyone. And walked out. I never looked back. Later, I found out that after I left, Thomas picked up the pieces of that torn deed and slipped them in his pocket. Some guests criticized him. Some left early. Carlos called me that night. I didn't tell him everything. Just that I'd finally closed a door. Since then, I've focused on building more than wealth. I started a foundation called Rising Light. We offer scholarships for orphans. Build tech labs in underserved schools. The first student we funded, a 12-year-old boy named Elias, reminded me of myself. Skinny. Quiet. Brilliant. He hugged me and whispered, "Thank you." That one moment filled the emptiness in me more than any dollar ever could. That's my story. From abandonment, to resilience, to freedom. Not the freedom success brings, but the kind that comes when you stop needing love from people who never gave it, and start giving it to yourself. If this story reaches you, wherever you are, I hope it helps you believe. You are not what was done to you. You are what you build with your pain. And the light you carry is worth everything. Keep walking. Even if you're alone. Because the road gets brighter, just up ahead.